Hello, everyone. This is Toby the Galactic Intuitive. How are you doing? I hope everyone is well. Thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. As always, it means so much to me that you are choosing to be present here to offer your energy and your attention and your time. So, thank you for joining me here in this space. Our reading today is a light language sigil reading on the first 3 months of the year of the fire horse. Now we move from wood snake energy, which was what was the majority of 2025, into fire horse energy on February the 17th with the Lunar New Year. And as we've talked about previously, this month, February of 2026, is jam-packed full of astrological events, which are profoundly important in that they are rather rare events. In particular, we have the Saturn and Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries on February 20th, which is just after we move into the year of the fire horse. On the 17th, in addition to the Lunar New Year, we also have an eclipse in a new moon eclipse in the sign of Aquarius. So here we have the sigil for this year of the fire horse. It holds energies and activations to support us and to inspire us and to enliven us through this year. It's it helps to support the energy that is coming through astrologically and coming through the shifts and the changes that are going on between us, the collective, and Mother Gaia. And these combinations of energies are can be, well, as I mentioned, they're brand new, and they are energies and combinations of frequencies that we have not experienced before. So there is a sense that they may be um, a little destabilizing or disconcerting, and at times may feel overwhelming. There's a lot of fire involved in these frequencies. And so, although there is an energy of inspiration and motivation and that enlivening that I mentioned in this sigil to help us move forward in alignment with these frequencies, and also, of course, in alignment with our highest self. Alongside that, this sigil offers a calming presence, a balancing presence that helps us to regain those states of being and embody those states of being as we are navigating these new frequencies. And I'm hearing a new frequency signatures. So there's a sense of, well, we've had the analogy or the metaphor of stepping across a threshold. And as we cross into this new lunar year on February the 17th, we are doing just that. We are entering into the crossing that threshold, entering into a new room. It feels beyond just a new room. It feels like, in many ways, a whole new world. And when we step into that type of space, then it requires that we become, well, it doesn't require, but it allows us to become our own map maker, because this is literally uncharted territory, and these combinations of frequencies are such that we have not experienced before. And so navigating that, and again, going back to navigating the energy signatures, it's I'm getting this image of someone kind of flowing almost in like a wave pattern around and through these energetic signatures. It kind of reminds me of this, as a matter of fact, now that I'm looking at the sigil. Okay. So, with that preface, we're going to leave the sigil here where you can see it. And I will, let's see, we are going to look at the first 3 months. And so we'll look at February 17th to March 17th, March 17th to April 17th, and then April 17th to May 17th. I was pausing to see if the 9 had anything else. I kind of felt a bit of a whisper there, but no, we're going to, they're confirming on those date ranges. So we'll look at those 3 each month, each of those 3 months. And then down the road, at some point, we'll do the next 3 months. And the reason why, initially, when I was planning to do this sort of reading for you, um, I had planned to do the entire year for the collective, but there's so much still at play, they're saying, in the collective field that it there's a couple aspects to this. One, that's too far out for that general of a reading, especially right now, as all of these transformations are just really beginning to unfold. Secondly, it has us looking too far forward, and the 9, and I'm sure, I know that there are many others out there who are also receiving this message and sharing this message as well, that it is so critically important that we not look too far forward, because that takes us out of the present moment. We know that already, and now they are reaffirming this, that because there is so much flux and there's so much chaos going on through the unraveling, the collapsing of the matrix that we've talked about, it is so critically important for us to stay present. And we cannot be present if we're looking too far forward. And so to look too far forward is going to do us a disservice. It's not going to be to our benefit. One, it would be very general, and things are shifting and changing. So getting a grasp on it, it may not be helpful in that way, but again, it would have us looking too far forward and take us away from where the moment in which we are in, and that is the moment where we have the most impact. So that's something that they are very much reminding me of, and then I am continuing to share with you guys. So let's see, we're going to look at February 17th to March 17th. I will start with the tarot. We're going to use the Wild Unknown. No, we're not. Okay, no, we're not. That was my plan, but they are redirecting me. Hold, please. We are going to use, I'm trying to not knock over the tripod here. Okay. Is this the right one? Okay, we're going to use the Star Tarot. Okay, so we'll pull 3 cards for, I don't really have a spread in mind. We're free flowing with this, but we're going to start with 3 tarot and then a few, probably 2 or 3 oracle cards for each month. And then if we need clarifiers, or if I'm directed to pull anything in addition, these cards are really long, but I'm going to try and get a really good shuffle for you guys. Oh boy, my fingers are not big enough for that. Okay. Um, what was I saying? If we need to pull additional cards, then I will. Um, and as a reminder, I haven't mentioned it recently, but this style of reading is also available for on a personal basis. So customized to you and your individual energetic signature. That's interesting. That phrase keeps coming up today. So, or in this space. So it feels very important. Anyway, what was I saying? The Yes, this light language sigil reading for the year of the fire horse is available if you are interested in receiving that on an individual basis. I had planned to do a full year for you guys. I think that given what the nine, oh no, they're correcting me now. No, okay. Yeah, they're saying, I was going to say we do 3 months, but they're saying no, 6 months on an individual basis. So I'll change the description on that light language sigil reading for the year of the fire horse, but it is available if you're interested in receiving one that is specific for your frequency, your energetic signature again, and your life, your situation. Okay. So we have the Six of Pentacles first, Three of Wands, and we have the Moon. Interesting. The Moon has been coming up a lot for me personally. Okay, I'll put these up here. Well, it's really drawing me to the you, with the moon here, I was going to say the eclipse, but that's not it. It's drawing me to the full moon that occurs. It'll be 2 weeks after the eclipse, so it'll be in March. 1 week would be the 24th. So I don't know, around March 3rd or 4th, it would be the full moon in, oh, that'll be the full moon in Virgo. That might be an eclipse as well. Um, there is a rebalancing of, okay. There is a rebalancing of tangible assets, which is not set at this time, but we're going to start to see things moving. And with this Three of Wands, the Three of Wands in the traditional tarot is often depicted as um, someone standing at the shore and watching a ship moving towards them, or they're beginning to see it coming offshore and coming towards the dock, coming to port. And that's what I'm feeling here. I'm really struck by all the gold in this Three of Wands. So there, we are bearing witness to the beginning stages of this. Um, did I say reallocation? That's the word that I'm getting now. I can't remember if that's what I said initially or not, but I may have said rebalancing, reallocation of tangible assets. Now, in what form that takes, I'm not seeing that, but and it's not something that comes to completion during this time frame. There is something that is still yet to be revealed. More information comes through around that full moon in early March, and that, oh, I'm getting chills with that. I'm really drawn to the owl here, which I believe is in the Hermit card. And the Hermit, I need to find that. And the Hermit is the card associated with the sign of Virgo. And I'm pretty sure that, oh, I don't know why I need to find this, but that's how I'm being directed. So hold please, give me just a moment. Let me find it. There's wisdom that comes through around the time of this full moon. And it doesn't mean that whatever form this reallocation takes is set yet. It's that we are going to be able to witness it. And it's interesting because they're not showing me what that looks like, but they're not showing me what that looks like. That's purposeful because it's something that, yeah, see, there's the owl. I don't know why that was important for me to show you. Okay, let's leave this out for now. Um, Interesting because they have a brown owl here and then it's a more snowy owl. Well, I guess it looks kind of brown, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. A little brown. No, those are two different types of owl. This is a snowy owl, and this looks more like a barred owl. No, it looks actually more like a great horned owl almost. Is it going to focus? It's not wanting to focus. Hang on a second. There we go. Okay. Let me get it to refocus. All right. Um, I don't know why that's important. I feel like I went off on a little tangent there. Oh, that's the important part. There is a small detail that we may get distracted by in the process, and that detail is really not that important. Um, it feels like it is connected to whatever is revealed around that full moon in early March, but that detail is not as important as it seems like it is at the time. There is still more balancing that needs to be done. Look at how much balance is in this card, but notice that what's off balance here is having the owl, and then we have the hermit. Okay, I feel like we really don't get the full picture, and I'm really drawn to how there is this frame around the hermit. We really don't get the full picture until Virgo season. This is taking form. It takes time for this to take form. This the imbalance was not created overnight, not by any means. And so it is going to take some time for this reallocation to be solidified. I'm hearing for it to take form. Um, with the white buffalo calf, there is a sense of justice with this as well. If you know the story of the white buffalo calf woman, medicine woman, um, yeah, they don't want me to share the story. If you don't know it, do a little bit of research, but there is a sense of justice with this. And again, I'm getting the two pillars balanced. Even the three of wands is showing balance here. We've got the separation of, it looks like the wheat. Um, It does look like wheat, but I think it's supposed to be flames. That's interesting. Maybe it is wheat. Um, and then we have the gold here on the mountaintop as well. Okay, so information beginning in this first month of the year of the fire horse about this. Okay, the year of the fire horse about this reallocation of tangible assets. Now they're also that was looking at it at a very high overarching kind of galactic perspective, collective perspective. Interesting galactic perspective. What about that, please? Oh, okay. Wow, I'm seeing like 3. Really interesting because I'm getting zoomed out and then zoom back in and then zoomed out and then zoom back in. I think that that's the way we're going to feel during that time period too. You know how I was really focused and we even did it with the camera. Really focused on the minutia of the detail of this owl for some reason. There's this sense of and then we have the 3 here as well. 3 is really important. And look at all the nines. Well, we have 6, we have 3, 18 is 9, and then we have the 9. I'm also drawn to Tesla here with through the 369 frequency. Wow, there's a lot of layers to this. That's the way we're going to feel in our experience of February 17th to March 17th as well. They're kind of pushing it to the equinox, which I think is on the 19th. Um, the Seeing these multiple layers, and so we talked about kind of the collective layer. Now let's talk about the individual layer. The individual layer will be you may feel inspired to reallocate tangible things in your personal life. Now that might mean something having to do with your finances, but it might mean moving your furniture around in your house. It might be um, how you allocate your time. I know that's doesn't seem like a tangible asset, but it's one of your most valuable your most valuable asset, your focus, right? Your energy. And we're moving to a point of understanding that energy is tangible. So, taking what I said about that higher collective level and looking at it now down on to an individual level of moving things around. Another interesting thing that they're reminding me of is we do have a Mercury retrograde that begins on February the 26th. So that's part of this reprocess, right? The reallocation, and then kind of getting distracted with some sort of minutia, and then having more information revealed, and then maybe making a readjustment in that way. So allowing oneself to be really fluid and flexible in this process. Um, it's that flexibility that allows us to find the justice and not to find it, to allow the justice to be revealed with the understanding that it doesn't really take full form until, on a personal level, it doesn't feel like it's as far out as September. It feels more like June with the solstice. Now, going to the galactic level, this reallocation of tangible assets is in relation to our experience of and connection with, I'm sorry, not connection with, but our, they're saying concomitant, I can't say that word, concomitant, I don't think I'm saying that right, evolution with Gaia. When, why are we using that word? It means as we evolve alongside Gaia, Mother Earth, and the galactics, witnessing that and witnessing how that creates shifts within the collective as well as shifts within Mother Earth. And that's that reallocation process, the shifting of placement of energy and direction of energy, as well as the again, I don't want to separate energy from from tangible, but let's say from the physical. Part of me doesn't even want to make that differentiation, but we're going to go with it just for the sake of language and not getting caught up in that. The shifting of the physical in in response to these momentum and inspiration towards reallocation. So shifting energy means shifting within the physicality as well. So we may see uh, from again, they're showing me like a galactic perspective, witnessing the movement within the collective. Now that might be energetic movement, it might be physical movement, where you may find that groups are, oh, interesting. I said reallocating, now they're saying relocating. Um, and we might see that there are, we're seeing movement within Mother Earth when we've talked about her movements, earthquakes, water movement in response or as part of her evolution. Okay, let's do we're gonna do okay. This is the is this the Golden Future Oracle by um Diana Cooper. Let's do one of these for March 17th to February, I'm sorry, February 17th to March 17th, the law. Act with common sense and responsibility. Well, what did I say about justice? Yeah, that's, I mean, we're already seeing things being revealed in relation to laws not being upheld and there being different levels to what is allowed and what isn't allowed based on your based on one's, let's say, power status. There's a rebalancing as part of this process. And so the reminder for us here is that although there is there can be a sense of wanting well, I'm just going to say it, retribution for those who have not followed the law, and those instances that are being revealed where that has occurred over and over again, and it's been hidden, it's been swept under the rug, it's been lied about, we've been gaslit over it, that then reacting out of a sense of um revenge or retribution is not balanced. That is not the frequency of the new earth. So to be mindful of where our energy goes as the field. That's not to say that there shouldn't be consequence, but there is a difference in the energy of balanced consequence and revenge or retribution. Is that it for that one? Okay. All right, we're just going to do one oracle for that. Um Okay, so this is February 17th to February, I'm sorry, till March 17th. Although, as I mentioned, the nine are saying that this may extend to up until solstice, which I believe is around March 19th or 20th this year. Um, was there anything else? I'm not sure that I finished that thought about the galactic perspective. That it is being witnessed from the galactic perspective, those shifts that are going on within the collective as well as within Mother Earth. And I think the part that I didn't expand upon was that the recognition that is occurring from that galactic perspective, on the part of the galactics about the shifts and changes that are occurring here upon Earth, and it being it feels like a sort of confirmation of where we are in ascension and in our evolution, and that informs them as to the communication as well that we are receiving. So, as we are expanding in our own evolution and simultaneously Mother Earth is expanding in her evolution, the communication we're receiving from the galactics is expanding as well. Oh, very interesting. Okay, so I am going to put these cards back in the deck so that actually, um, no, I'm not. Are we going to use, oh, we're going to use different decks for each month. Okay, so I will, just for the sake of space, we will do this. This will be February. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. Let's see if I can make it line up and be neat. Okay, there's February. Whoops. Okay. And we will, for equinox to April 17th, we're going to use the Mystical Moments Tarot. That will be approximately, um, let's see, February 17th to the equinox is mostly Pisces season. So then we'll be moving into, is that right? Why am I having a hard time with this? Yes, that's Pisces season. So then we'll be moving into Aries season. Interesting. I wanted to, my brain wanted to skip over Aries and go straight to Taurus. There's, oh, maybe there's a sense of wanting to move quickly through Aries season. I wonder why that is. It feels like there is, something that might, a sense of avoidance of something that comes through Aries season. Okay, well, let's just see what comes out. Okay. So again, we'll do 3 cards. We need to pull more. We'll do that, but let's do 3 cards for what is, um, in effect, Aries season. So March 17th to the 20th time frame to April 17th. It may feel like, before I flip that over, it may feel like there's a, um, I'm getting a sense of that time folding, but instead of time folding, I'm getting a sense of it being the opposite, like a time expansion. So there feels like there's a separation between Pisces season and Aries season. Oh, there's a definitive energetic difference when we go from Pisces to Aries this year. Now, of course, there's always an energetic difference. That's, that there the archetype of Aries, and all that comes with it is going to, it's going to, we will sense that difference, but there is a distinct separation between the two, and I want to really enunciate my words for some reason. There's a very distinct, almost sharp sense of the differentiation between Pisces and Aries season. I feel like I'm doing everything more, and I don't want to turn that one over yet either. That's interesting. We're going to get all 3 cards and then we'll turn them over. It feels like there's a bit of surprise that comes with Aries season as well. Again, this is from the equinox to April 17th. We might extend it to encompass all of Aries season. Okay. And I also am breathing. I get a sense of needing to breathe. Let me clear some space. I'm feeling a little cramped. Okay. We have the King of Wands. Not surprising with this Aries season. We have the Eight of Wands, more fire energy, and we have the King of Pentacles. Wow. Wow. Ooh, lots of movement. Okay, let's do one more. There is a strong sense of, because in let me back up. In this Mystical Moments Tarot, each suit has let me see if I can talk. Each suit has two kings, one representing or one representing the divine feminine aspect of the archetype and the other representing the divine masculine aspect of the archetype. So we have the feminine aspect of the King of Wands represented here. And because we have the King of Pentacles in the masculine aspect, I get this very strong sense of the greatest movement comes from a balancing of the inner divine masculine and feminine within us. And that, of course, that always applies, but there is a sense of allowing the masculine to be there's a bit of a um a switching of what we would consider the I don't want to say normal, but that archetype of these energies. So normally the feminine aspect would be more receptive, would be more, I'm getting the word supple. That's interesting. Would be more on the intuitive, the creative side, but not the action oriented side. What we are being given here is the insight that through Aries season, it will be very beneficial for us to allow our feminine aspect to be in a more active role, and to allow then the masculine aspect to be in a more a slower, more steady, more measured role within us. And it's that balancing that allows for liftoff. There is also a sense that if we are too much, because there's so much fire energy, if we are too much in the swift, impulsive, um, um like hustle type mentality of the masculine energy, then we are going to will be there will be movement, but it will take us off course. Now, I say this with the qualifier that that if we go off course, so to speak, we're not actually off course. There's something along that pathway that we need to learn, that we need to experience. However, if we are if you're able to be in this space of balance, if we were able to be in a place of that internal balance, then we will that is a signifier that we are able to move forward through the progression of this month and the energies of this month, at an elevated speed and at an elevated perspective too. See how she's already up in the air, flying up above things. And the same with the King of Pentacles. He's standing on top of this stag. Okay, what is this? Oh, we have the sun. Oh, I have massive chills. Yeah, and it brings so much joy and celebration and success by being able to be in that, I will say, unusual balance of the divine masculine and divine feminine. This is bringing through a theme that has been coming through around our evolution and our ascension. This sense of, we've talked about the paradox a lot, and it's bringing that through in this way in regards to the divine masculine and divine feminine. This acceptance and allowance of the overlap between the two, and the absolute removal of any separation between the two, the acceptance that um that these energies, when they are in balance, they work fluidly within us. And so that's what we are being encouraged to embrace during this time. We could be easily swept away with all of this fire energy in Aries season. We have, I don't even know how many planets are going to be in Aries at that time, but two major players, well, three major players. We'll have the Sun, Saturn, and Neptune in Aries. And again, these are all, it will be a very new experience for us. And to have this much fire going on, and especially on the heels of all the revelations, and as revelations continue to occur, as the matrix structures continue to collapse, it will be easy to be swept up in the fire energy of that, and the impulsivity of it, the going back to those February energies and what they talked about with retribution, and that sense of justice that is imbalanced. It's very important for us to balance out and allow for the fluidity of our those inner divine feminine and divine masculine energies. I'm not speaking about gender here. I'm talking about those inner energies within us, those archetypes within us. And when we are able to allow them to merge within us, that's when we get to this place of true elevation. And what we are able to see and experience and witness from that vantage point is unlike anything we have experienced so far. And it is through this that there is massive success. And not only for us individually, but for the collective, the the um, the leadership role that then is embodied, and it's not necessarily something that happens intentionally. It's because you are now expressing this frequency of balance and fluidity and full integration of the divine masculine and feminine, and it cannot help but be witnessed and felt from those around you. Wow, that was really powerful. Okay, we're going, ooh, I bumped the camera, I'm so sorry. Okay, we're going to do an oracle for Aries season. I guess I should have just labeled it by the zodiac seasons to begin with, but here we are. So Aries season oracle. I think I need a bigger desk. Or maybe just a way to mount my camera higher. All right. Okay, oracle for Aries season, please. There is a sense of, as I said in the opening, of it feeling a bit overwhelming. And I think a good part of that can be attributed to that big differentiation between the energy of Pisces season and the energy of Aries season. And so this balancing is something that is not it may be difficult to attain, especially early on in Aries season. There feels like there's a bit of a stuttering kind of energy towards the beginning of Aries season. I noticed it as I was shuffling the oracle cards. To begin with, it was kind of like start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. So you may have this sense of, okay, I've got the balance. Oh, now I don't have the balance. Okay, now I've got the balance. Oh, now I don't have the balance. And it's okay. It's okay because it's part of us calibrating to these new frequencies that are around us and that are out, that are new on Mother Earth, new within the collective, as well as new out in the cosmos. Become your own priority. Card number 13. Well, look at how the colors match up nicely. Isn't that pretty? That's lovely. Interesting. I see a little dog paw. Oh, well, there's a lioness right there. I didn't see her to begin with. So, yes, okay, we were talking about finding that balance point, and we were talking about something catching us off guard. Did we talk about that to begin with? I know that there was a distraction energy in Pisces season. It feels like there's also something in Aries season. And it may be all of, what I was mentioning about the matrix collapsing, and so that might be this sort of what's hidden in the tall grass, and it's not that we're not aware of it. The point about this is that it's right there along the path, and the closer you get to it, the more unnerving it becomes. And so there is an invitation here for us to not ignore it, but to be aware of how much focus and energy we are placing upon that chaos, especially when we notice that it is knocking us out of that balance point. And this is becoming your own priority. So if you're noticing that it is having an impact on you, then there's your indication that you need to take a step back from it, to allow yourself the space to recalibrate, get back to your center, get back to that balance point, to work on being in balance in this way before you re-engage with anything external that might be causing that uh, it feels like it's not a distraction energy. It's actually an having a negative impact upon your experience of Aries season. Okay. All right. We are going to move on to Taurus season, which will be approximately, I know it's not quite exact with Taurus season, but about April 17th to the 20th to, we'll say, May 20th. We'll go to the end of Taurus season. Okay. What are we going to use for? Okay. Light Seers. Light Seers Tarot for the tarot. My hands are cold and they do not want to work. We have Two of Pentacles on the bottom and Justice showing up again. Interesting. Taurus is the opposite sign to Libra in astrology. Okay, couple more shuffles, guys. Thank you for staying with me. I appreciate if you've made it this far. Oh, there's the devil coming out opposite Justice. Justice is still here. I appreciate you staying with me through this whole thing. This turned out to be a long reading, but I hope that you find it helpful. And if you enjoy this, and again, if you would like to have a light language sigil reading for yourself. Um, the information to book that will be in the description box. It includes a sigil channeled specifically for you. It's not a reusing of this one, it's specifically for you. And then a reading around that as well. And we'll do that in 6-month increments. Oh, this is interesting. I can feel that kind of stereotypical Taurus energy. Things are slow. There we go. Interesting. All right, let's see what else. Hmm. So the first part of the month starts out a little slow. Again, it feels like an unusual start to it in that the energy feels kind of like a bumpy start going from Aries season. We have the Knight of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, and the Lovers. Okay, we're going to do one more. And now notice how the energy is moving more fluidly. We have the Eight of Wands again. Lots of movement, lots of fire energy. Four of Cups on the bottom, but that feels like very much past energy. Interesting, because I haven't looked at the bottom of the deck for any of the other months, but this is that slow energy at the beginning of the month. It feels like you have been working towards something, and I get the sense of feeling like, um, man, I've been planting these seeds forever. When is this going to actually happen? When is this actually going to happen? Because I've been out here planting these seeds, walking this field for a really long time. I get a sense of impatience, but impatience, I wouldn't say um, it's not really, it's impatience after being patient for quite some time. So it's not like you just started whatever this is. You've just undergone this part of the journey, or you've just begun this project. This has been going on for quite some time, and you've reached a point of frustration with it. Part of that is because the energy at the beginning of Taurus feels so different, or Taurus season feels so different from the energy of Aries season. And so it feels almost like somebody is putting on the brakes pretty hard on your progress. It's again an energy that adjustment that is required on your part, and it will impact all of us. Those of you who are earth signs, especially if you happen to be a Taurus rising or Taurus moon, maybe a Taurus sun, but more particularly a Taurus rising or Taurus sun, you probably will feel like a relief to have um, the entrance into Taurus season this year, because there's so much fire in Aries season. So it feels a little bit more, feels definitely more grounded, and feels a little bit more like home to you. So this part of it may not apply, that you may have a feeling of, no, I'm okay with this because I kind of feel like I needed a break from the energy, from that fire energy. For everyone else though, I do get this sense of impatience, but again, it's impatience after quite a long time of being patient. But then, so that impatience can lead to wanting to take a shortcut, which is what I get with the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords traditionally speaks of some sort of deception or deceptive type energy, but but it's also, it can also be doing something quietly. behind the scenes. So I'm getting it twofold that you might just be, oh, this is interesting. Okay, so well, let's continue with the first one. If you're feeling impatient, there is a potential for you to want to take a shortcut. That is not advised. We saw the devil pop out on the split with justice, and I think that is speaking to that energy of wanting to take a shortcut because we're feeling impatient. So, the lovers in this regard is speaks to a choice being made. We have the 8 of Wands here, so there is incoming energy, there is incoming movement and everything. So the invitation here is to make the choice to be fluid and to allow yourself to move with the energy instead of attempting to circumvent it. So the other storyline here for Taurus season is that this may be how others are seeing you. They are not seeing anything on the surface level from all of the effort that has been placed into whatever you've been working on, wherever your energy has been focused for the last, I'm hearing 4 years in particular. So it may seem you may get a sense. I don't feel like this will be like an actual conversation where someone comes to you and says, "Man, nothing's coming of what you've been doing. Why are you still doing it?" It feels more like you can sense that other people are thinking that about what you've been doing. There's this kind of background chatter about like, "Man, you've been walking around that field for a long time and I don't see anything germinating yet." Um, however, first of all, let's just say that though that type of peanut gallery chatter, please don't listen to that. Okay. Please don't listen to that because they don't know what you're doing. They're only seeing things from one perspective and they don't see everything else. And that's when we get to the 7 of Swords because you have been working behind the scenes. You're working quietly. You might be working a lot at nighttime, but there's a lot going on and there is a lot that you have been gathering up. And this doesn't, in this particular frequency, it's not speaking of deception. It's just that you are not broadcasting all that you're doing. There are some things that you are keeping quiet because you're keeping them kind of close to the chest because it's not ready to be fully birthed into the daylight, so to speak. And so there is a protection that you are keeping around it until you're ready to reveal it. So then this um choice in the lovers, this actually in this particular storyline, I feel like the lovers represents a an expression of love. And it may be so maybe what you've been working on and not speaking on is maybe it's a new relationship or maybe it's an expansion of a relationship that's been long standing. um, if it is a project or something that you've been working on a personal level, then there comes a point in Taurus season when you're ready to express your love for it and the value that it has in your life. And that's when and in that particular storyline, these 2 things happen simultaneously. That kind of you get the inspiration to express about whatever it is that's been going on, and I can't get past how these colors are matching up again. Um, and with the 8 of Wands too, there's a similarity there as well. Look at that. Wow, it really matches. Okay. So anyway, there is an inspiration to have this expression and simultaneously that expression and it's like they work in tandem. The inspiration comes from you feeling this energy beginning to move more quickly behind you, and as you express, that's when it really explodes and things begin to really progress. So, whatever it is that you are working on quietly and keeping to yourself, there will come a point in time in Taurus season when you just know it's the right time to express what's been happening or what you've been working on, or to share this new relationship with other people that are close to you. Um, and that really moves things along. It's again, it's a simultaneous type inspira or movement that happens with the expression of that, of your love and your devotion to that thing, and the energy that then really propels it even further, even farther. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting how the themes have changed. Have you noticed how watery Pisces season was? And we got the multi layers of perspective, and then how um, active and fiery and inspired the Aries season was. And we're very grounded here in our physicality and in physical action in Taurus season. I have a lot of chills with Taurus season. So it feels like there is a lot of, although things may start out slow in the month, there's a lot of progress, and there's a lot of joy in it as well. Um, this is something that you have been waiting on for some time, that you've been working towards for some time. Again, 4 years is what came through before, and there's a lot of joy in Taurus season, especially when you are able to, when you reach that point of being comfortable enough with where it is and what you've invested already to be able to then bring it forward to share publicly. There's um, there's a lot of pride and a lot of joy in that expression. It's really beautiful. Okay, we're going to do. Are we going to do? Bump the camera again. We're going to do the Starseed Oracle for Taurus season. Okay. Interesting. On the split, we have jump in and then we have wait. It kind of, it feels like that is the energy of Taurus season. It starts out with the wait, and then things really move along, and simultaneously you just, you get that im it's an impelling type energy that moves you into action to express. Expression is really big in that. It's not just a taking of an action, it's an expression of your love and your devotion. And maybe, well, I wasn't getting this before, but maybe this is a case of having feelings for someone that have not been expressed, and there's been some work in the background in order to, I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it's internal work in order to be comfortable enough with oneself and in a place where you feel ready to not only express your emotions and your feelings for another person, but to be ready to engage fully um, in the conversation and in relationship going forward. Earth pulsing, pulse of Mother Earth, slow down time in nature. First of all, that card is just so beautiful. And it kind of brings together, I didn't notice before, but we have on the left side here, we have the green, the cool tones, and on the right side, we have the warm tones. And we have that balance here kind of in the card as well. So, being in Taurus season is an absolutely perfect time to, um, I'm hearing get back in touch with your connection with Mother Earth, the pulse of the mother. Yeah, so especially in the first portion of the month where we're dealing with these slower energies and maybe things being um, judged from an external source not accurately, or maybe we're feeling impatient, or maybe we are feeling not quite ready to express our feelings to our loved one, and yet there's this sense of impatience as well around that. Here's our invitation to spend time um, with nature, to slow down, to allow ourselves to be still, to allow for that fluidity again of working with the frequencies and the energies rather than um, trying to combat them or trying to manipulate them, trying to force anything. That is only going to cause further restriction, which in effect slows things down even further. So, um, the pulse of the mother, that really is sticking out to me. There's a message here about syncing breath with Mother Earth. And so, how do we do that? Okay, they're saying when we're out in nature, we will feel her breathing in the trees and the way they move and sway. We'll feel her breathing underneath our hands as we place them upon the soil or the grass. We'll feel her breathing through the trees themselves, placing our hands or maybe our cheek or our forehead upon the trunk of the tree, and allow ourselves to be guided by that sensation of Mother Earth's breath, her pulse. The breath moves in time with the pulse. And so allowing ourselves to sync our breath with hers, especially in moments when we are having difficulty grounding, when we're having difficulty coming back into balance, utilizing this technique will be exceptionally helpful and supportive. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right, guys. I think I'm going to leave it here. I think this might be one of the longest readings I've done for YouTube, at least. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear your input. If you enjoyed this style and if you like the longer readings, again, we'll not revisit, but we will come here again for the next 3 months and do another light language sigil reading when we get closer to the end of Taurus season, or probably the middle of Taurus season. We'll go ahead and do it for the next 3 months, and then we'll just continue on that. And if you're interested in other light language readings, let me know. We can do them for other themes as well. And I have a feeling they'll be coming through more again. I used to do more of those over the last couple years. So yeah, I really enjoy it. I hope you did. I hope you found it helpful. And again, if you're interested in receiving a light language reading or a light language sigil reading for yourself, check out the information in the description box below. Um, Follow the link there. There'll be information and a link where you can book your own. It is pre recorded, And if we're looking at 6 months, we're probably would be about an hour and a half, maybe more in length. Um, and if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to me. And thank you so, so much for being here. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for spending time with me today, for supporting the channel in all the ways you do, for your presence, your energy, for being on this journey with me. Thank you.